Now may I invite Mr. Arun Antony, Head of HR of Syntel Limited, who is known for their national level campus hiring. So without delay, I would give it to Mr. Arun Antony.
Good morning to all of you. Can I hear a good morning? Okay. So I've made a lot of preparations and finally I realized it's all gone waste because with Lakshmi, then followed by Sudeep and Vishy, all the largest empires in the IT industry, it's going to be very, very tough for me because I got to start completely new team because whatever I had is taken over. So however, let me try and, because I've been given a structure to cover, which is, I'm supposed to talk about Syntel, which TCS and Wipro didn't do because you all know them very well. And Syntel, we are getting there slowly. So if you're okay, I will play a small video about Syntel, which will not take more than 2 to 3 minutes, and then followed by what I would like to speak about. Okay, don't bother, it's okay, I'll manage. So let me give a quick overview of Syntel. We are roughly around 30-year-old company, and last year we did 825 million. That was the revenue of Syntel, and we are around 24,000 people. So that's broadly about what Syntel is today, and we are tracking roughly around 920 million by this year end. So that's to give you a size and structure about Syntel. Since most of the things have been covered by the rest of the team, I would like to just talk about the unique hiring model Syntel has. I mean, I don't know how many of you know about what Syntel does in the space. Okay, so very limited. Okay, good. So the interesting part is, okay, so these are all some of the things which I wanted to cover, but I'm not getting to all that about demand and supply situation. Okay, so we call our program the Syntellect. And what has Syntellect done is this. So if you look at it, it was a 10-week program wherein we covered around 25 states across India. And we visited, okay, we didn't visit, so we were able to reach out to around 1,400 colleges in India. And we were able to mobilize around 1,700 applications, 1.7 lakh applications. And we met around 9,000 people, and we had around 2,800 people join last year. So that's broadly how our reach is. So unlike most of the other players, we have been the leaders in using the online, the most effective manner to recruit people. So the way we do it is we partner with Monster, and the Monster campus is where you enroll your colleges, and from then on, we don't have a specific date and time when we come to a college. Based on, I think, what Lakshmi covered very briefly, we have been doing this for the last 4 years, wherein we, based on the demand situation with the pool we have multiple permutation combinations that we use to look at the data crunching in terms of impersonation or proxying of tests and all of that. And there's a lot of analytics that goes to the back end to ensure we get the right set of people. So once we have a pool, so we go from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and try to establish centers and meet people and close offers. So that's broadly the way we operate. So for you to know more, you can just look at Monster Campus or Syntellect, and you will get the answers for your questions. And in terms of what we look for from the campus, I would like to go back to some of our values so that Okay, so this is how we look at it. So as a company, we are driven by these 5 values: simple, smart, speed, stretch, and synergy. So what we mean by all these things, so those are very, very simple because we know we all need communication skills, interpersonal skills, application of your education and all of that. But where we want to look at the candidates slightly differently is the technology is changing so fast. So what you learn today is obsolete 2 years from now. So which means an engineering student who joins in the first year, when he comes to the third year, most of what he learned is obsolete. So that's the way the way technology is going. So I'll just look at the speed as a only value. So for example, what we mean by speed is speed of learning, speed of accepting to change, agility. So this is what we look at from people. So specifically when I talk about speed, we don't want people to compartmentalize and say, I definitely want to get to a particular domain or a technology or a stream of work. So, I mean, it's good. I mean, we are very happy that they have that clarity. However, at least the major population that we look for are going to be people who are nimble, who are going to be willing to be mobile, being willing to look at learning technologies and move faster with the pace of life. So that's something which we really look at it. And similarly, when I talk about synergy, we talk about people going an extra mile, which means that we want people to look at things with a helicopter view. It's like building a building versus I'm a mason or I'm a supporting laborer. So we want people to have a look at the holistic view of things, and that's the kind of people we try to look at. And so this is broadly the areas where we will focus as an organization. We look at people. And coming back to the trends at Syntel, see, we, as I told you, we have hired like 2,800 people last year, and this is broadly the process that we follow. And this is how our trend has been so far. This is some statistics, this is the real actual data, how Syntel has been looking at fresher hiring in the recent past. And what we see is the gap that we will hire more of BScs in the days to come, because I just have to, in this moment, talk about how Syntel as an organization has evolved and changed to the changing times. We used to be verticalized as an organization. We used to have banking, retail, logistics, telecom, and so on and so forth. And then we have started horizontals, testing, infrastructure management, mobility, telecom, and all of that. So now, what has happened is we have tried to change with the customer's needs. So which means what we used to do as a specific verticalized activity, we have built it together as the managed services organization, which means there's a huge amount of work, if you look at Indian services industries, is into maintenance, testing, and AMO support type of work. So what we have done is we have segregated the two organizations, whereas the domain-centric, which will get into the core technology and domain-related work, and the overall delivery organization is consolidated and put under one umbrella. So what the difference there is, as I think our other colleagues spoke about, we don't need the best of the technology minds in some of those roles. So for example, a pure tester, I don't need him to be a BE or an MTech individual. I'm good with a good BSc resource. And likewise, our production support, I'm okay with that. And there is a mass. So roughly, at least in Syntel, 65% of the business is under the MSO umbrella. So what you're trying to do is and what does it do? So there are, if you look at the business, there are two types of business that run. So one is run the business and change the business. The run the business is basically your day-to-day operations related work, which is what the managed services delivery organizations do. And change the business is all your SMAC technologies and digital mobility, and where they really want to bring a change. And how the industry is growing, the industries don't want to invest on run the business. They just want to try and take care of things as it is. And where they want to focus is on change the business. So for me to give value to the customer, the best way for me is to get the mass and put them in a program where I can, the way the managed service organization operates is industrialization. So why do we do managed services? So in managed services, the best part is you can build tools, processes, automate things, and make it like a factory. So which means tomorrow I can put any engineer or a BSc graduate to a series of training and development, and they can all do things in a structured fashion. So that's where the 60% of the population will come, and where we are trying to do a 75 to 25, 30 percentage to hire. So that's the way we are progressing, and this is mirroring with the customers' demand. And in terms of specifics on, we all spoke about we want people to speak well and present well, and that's key quality that most of us look for when you go for a campus. And how do you do that? And that's something which I thought I will touch upon for a moment, wherein I think, most of the people whom I got inspired from are not people who have come from the best of the ICSE board institutes or anything. People who have come from, I'm especially you're talking about my mentor. He's just done his schooling in Tamil medium, and he's one of the millionaires today. But what I realized is, he has made his own effort to learn. So whatever you do, unless the individual wants to learn, I don't think it's going to change much. And for that purpose, the platform you create for people is, for example, communication. All of us say people have to communicate well. Arun Antony coming and giving a guest lecture for half a day is not going to change communication. So I don't know how many of you have read Outliers, a book by Malcolm Gladwell. Any of you have read it? Okay, so there is a concept of 10,000 hours in anything that you do. Unless you practice something for 10,000 hours, I don't think you can do a great job. So the best of the trainer comes and teaches you for half a day session every year, it's not going to make a difference. So what can you as an institute do for most of you coming from the rural side of India? I think there is a wonderful platform called the Toastmasters Club. And I think it's been the most effective medium I have seen personally for several people to have changed their lives in terms of standing in front of a group of audience or having they know when to use a is and a but and how many times I've used and and fillers. So I think that's a very, very good platform. And maybe each one of you should make an effort to ensure you have a Toastmasters club, which will definitely bring a difference to people. And secondly, once again, problems we know. I'm just talking about the solutions, which I think is relevant and which has worked for me very well. The second part is I come from, I did my graduation from Loyola College and then did my master's in MSSW, the Madras School of Social Work. Now, what I have done personally from my side is whenever I have a requirement, I go and pick my student from the college where I came from. So a lot of times we think that HR guys can make the decisions in terms of coming to a campus. So we don't realize the alumni pool that you yourself have within your colleges. How often do you talk to them? So most of the time, in my past, Syntel is a little different. We go to all the colleges. When I go to a campus, a lot of times a business head or a head of engineering or a head of technology tells me, hey Arun, I'm from this college. I think we should look at this college. And how many of you reach such people today? And I will be more comfortable to go with what my head of engineering tells me to do than 20 placement coordinators trying to reach me where, Sudeep, said he didn't bring his card, so I gave all of my cards to most of you here. You can reach out to me. I can do to some extent, but the best ambassador for each one of you is the guy from your institute. So how much are you reaching out to your people and taking their support for placing your students? I think that's another important thing that I think you all should consider. And Sudeep again talked about, how many of you know MOOC? MOOC? Not this MOOC. No. Okay. There's something called as, the book is basically the Coursera type of a thing where there is the abundant information available on free. How many of you know Khan's Academy? Wonderful. Okay. So it's like 10%. So my question is, if you don't know, it's going to be tough for the people to know all these. And my request is, each one of you should make an effort to go digital. At least once we go back, find out, Google about what is MOOC and what is Khan's Academy and what is Coursera, and I'm sure you will have all that you need. As we speak, I'm doing 2 courses in Coursera. Okay, and it's just a couple of hours in a week and it makes a difference to you. So I think each one of you should make that effort for yourself and for the students and bring the platform that they can make use of. And coming back to, the way Syntel is looking at all this, when we are going digital, there's going to be a lot of focus on digital technology and we are making a lot of investments around it. And once again, we see that the catchment is, pretty much saturated in the city. So we have built a 100-acre campus in Tirunelveli, and one of the reasons I was very keen to come and be part of this group is, we will look for a lot of people in 2016, the first quarter, and I would urge all of you to be in touch with our teams and also see how we as a team can come and work with you to build a community around and support in placing your folks. So we are more than happy to support and be part of that journey. And finally, before I conclude, the most famous personality today is Mr. Narendra Modi, right? So I got to close with him. So IT plus IT, as I told you, I'm not a maths guy, so I'm in economics and arts. So don't ask me, it should be two IT. So for me, IT plus IT is India tomorrow. And together we're going to progress. And recently, Narendra Modi made a mention that we have to focus on 5 T's, talent, tradition, tourism, trade and technology. And the 2 T's are going to be with you and us, and with that change, we can make a big difference to the society at large. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I'm more than happy to take any questions.
Thank you, thank you. I think it was wonderful. Incidentally, ICT Academy now has looked at the Toastmasters club model, and it is a little expensive for our rural college students to get into. So our board of studies, along with the core team, is working out to bring out a little diluted version of Toastmaster Club, which will come in the brand of ICTST Youth Circle, which will be forming in the colleges where they can practice themselves and study or learn communication.